Go.
Welcome back to the Final Fantasy XII Let's Play. This is episode 53, Bacon 8-Bit Blade. We're doing things.
We're doing things.
You don't really have to watch.
Things. More things. We shall do the things, and it shall be the things of a thing. Oh, battle speed on slow. Battle speed on slow.
What? Why?
So, equipment. Mesa Moon and the Genji gloves mean that Van will basically be attacking like a mother, trucker. Bubble Belt is being equipped on the other three characters I'm using for this because trying to recast Bubble is going to be very annoying. I'm not going to explain what we're doing until we get there.
I thought you said Bible Belt for a second.
Equip the Bible Belt and your...
Yeah, never do that.
You equip it and your MP goes to 0. I have the Zodiac Spear
no other moves but pray.
You pray enough times and your MP goes up to like 11. Or you get a small HP.
No, MP is witchcraft.
Wait, this hunt that you're about to embark on.
Yeah,
There's no music.
Is there?
Yeah, there's no music right now.
Yeah, I'm showing you off some of the stuff here, and you're basically screwing me up because I'm trying to explain this. For the three, Bash, Ash, and Penelo are my three main characters. They will have Dark Matter as the first Gambit, Arise, things for dealing with Stop and Petrify, Sap, Reflect, things to deal with restoring MP at low levels. The hunt. This is the Yasmat hunt. So this is the one that takes you 2 hours in an efficient run. I am using the strategy based off of the guide I've been using for the entirety of the game. It's done me pretty good so far. I'll actually just credit it to author was Demir Kolar, Split Infinity, at lifearmor@gmail.com. Go send him all your emails, all your mails. We're actually gonna stop right here to save. Mainly the first little section here was just me showing off the equipment and showing off the stuff. Bash has the Zodiac Spear, Ash has the Tournesol, Penelo has the Yagyu Dark Blade. It's a ninja sword. I don't use a lot of ninja swords, and that's probably the only ninja sword, and this is the only time a ninja sword is actually useful at all. It's Dark Elemental, and Yasmat actually is weak to that, so that's our main reason for using it. And also ninja swords can strike more often, so those two things in combination basically mean you're going to be attacking more often and doing more damage as a result. In this first little section, just as a pre-fight sort of, prep, you need to have, make sure everything is cast on your party. You want to make sure you have Shell, Protect, and Haste on everybody. Again, I have bubble belts on all three of these characters for a reason, because trying to cast bubble in the middle of the fight is going to get you killed. You do not have a lot of time even to cast Haste, Protect, and Shell, but thankfully Protect and Shell are will hit everybody, so it'll hit all your entire party. Van is going to be Berserk for this with the Mesa Moon. He's also has Bravery on him as well. So with the Mesa Moon, Bravery, Berserk, and the Genji gloves, he is pretty much going to be attacking non-stop in this fight. So with the Mesa Moon doing as much damage as it does and attacking as often as it does, it's going to be, it's going to do most of the damage in this for us. So yeah, that's pretty much the prep for this. This is not an easy fight, so let's get to this. So
Oh wow.
What is that thing?
It is a dragon.
That thing.
Very similar design to the Hellworm, just has these weird circle things and is more of a white, purple, and blue sort of thing. Color to it for some reason. So the very first thing you want to do here is there's a lot of traps in this arena. So the very first thing you want to do is have Libra on and start walking over every single one of the traps. The other thing you want to do, I have a gambit set up for this for Bash and Ash to use Expose. You'll see it's saying lowering Yasmet's defense there. That is the goal. If you use Expose enough times, it'll actually lower his defense enough so that most of your attacks will be doing as much damage as you possibly can at a time. Now, at this point, I switch out Bash for Van because Bash is a much slower attacker compared to Van, and I need speed for this to be really effective. This next 10 minutes or so is the compressed version of a 2-hour-long fight. This fight can be very dangerous. He can hit really hard, and if you can't get your buffs back on in time, he can destroy you, so every once in a while you may have to step into one of the other hallways to heal up. The longer you're away from him, though, the more buffs he'll put on himself, so you have to make sure you go back and dispel them. He will restore HP if you leave after a certain period of time. So if you leave and don't come back for a while, he will have his HP basically restored after a certain time. That's pretty much it for the strategy for most of this part of the game. Gambits are set up to deal with Petrify, to deal with Stop, because he likes to inflict that, and to deal with Sap, which drains your HP. Those are the main important things with this for the first, like, 50% of the fight, so... Oh god. Pretty much you're just going to be attacking the whole time. He has the ability Cyclone. I don't start doing it until the attack becomes much more damaging later on. But you can mitigate some of the damage with Cyclone by going into the menu just before he attacks and equipping Windbreakers, which are a really old piece of armor that you can get, light armor, from much earlier in the game. Since it's a wind elemental attack, you can use a Windbreaker to cut it in half, the damage. He has another ability...
This is awful!
I know. He has the ability called Death Strike. Another trick you can sort of do is, since that's a single target attack, normally that attack actually has a 50% chance of damaging or killing your character. But if you have Shell on, or you go into the menu and equip the Shell Shield, Shell actually cuts the chance of most positive and negative status effects by 50%. Like, for example, if there's a few times in this fight where the fight gets slowed down because Van is trying to cast Berserk on himself in vain, basically, because Shell makes it miss half the time, so... But it's also useful because it's the only thing that can prevent Death Strike from being an instant kill on that character, so if you know, when it's as important as it is in this fight to really get the damage in and not worry about reviving characters and not trying to rebuff characters and stuff like that, you really want to take those chances when you can.
It's okay.
Going in the relapse. When this fight gets dangerous, I can, you know, switch out Van and Bash, because Bash can, you know, sort of do a little bit of damage in the meantime while Van you know, gets restored, basically, is the idea. Again, the main damage dealers here are going to be Van and Pinello. Ash is mainly going to be trying to restore health and trying to, like, keep status stuff up. Pinello does that as her sort of secondary thing, and Van's just gotta attack the entire time. Other things that are important is actual, like, character placement. If you keep them all in the same area, like right in front of them or something like that, then you're much more likely to be attacked by them. An annoying thing is actually that Yasmat's tail is a weapon as well, so its physical attack is usually its tail swinging at you. So it doesn't matter if you're in front or in the back, it can still damage you, but it's just for the multi-hit attacks that are, you know, can put stop or whatever status effect on you, that's what you need to stop, so. At the halfway point, his defense actually goes up. So right now I'm not doing 9999, actually, I'm doing 6,999 due to his defense having gone up. So not only does the fight get longer at this point, you know, like you're doing less damage basically at this point. Really about a third of less damage than you normally would be doing at this point in the game. So it slows this fight down a bit. He starts getting much more dangerous at this point, like being able to hit like 8 times in a row, and his physical attack will basically take any... After 6 hits, it'll take you down to nothing really quick. So, really frustrating. Really frustrating. So, some things that I didn't plan very well in this fight. There's once or twice that I forget that I have the Windbreaker on my characters. And the Windbreaker is awful for actual physical and magic defense. It's just good for the one attack. So for a little point in this video, you might see me dying a heck of a lot more than I had been before. That's entirely due to my own fault and forgetting to follow the strategy, basically.
Your characters are wearing windbreakers.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're just wearing cardigans.
Exactly.
Protects against a cool autumn day.
Just, yeah. And this, yeah, there's not a lot to say outside of the strategy for this section of the fight. I mean, he is a much more dangerous enemy at this point, and you have to be very careful with it. I mean, I'm not doing a whole lot, but basically the only input I really have to do is making sure I select the leader when necessary and putting either the shell shield on to prevent that damage attack, that death attack, or the windbreakers. So occasionally I have to heal up MP. As you can see, Ash is basically getting drained between trying to keep all the characters at max MP and trying to heal everybody. It can get down to the wire. At that point, you either want to use charge or you want Ash to siphon MP from Van to be able to get some more MP. Or use like high others, but high others are rare in this game. Basically, the idea with Yasmat when they went to go and he just used an ability that doubles his level and his attack power.
Oh god.
Growing threat. The idea actually they had with this was Yasmat is actually, based on Final Fantasy V's one optional boss, Tiamat, which you could fight by opening a treasure chest in one of it. I think it was Tiamat in that game. But no, it was like Shinryu or something like that. I honestly don't remember. But its actual coloration is actually kind of based off of that design from Final Fantasy V, and it's a pun on Tiamat. But the other thing is that Yasmat, the Y and the I for his name actually comes from Matsuno's first name, actually. Which I think is Yasuhiro, but We'll have to check that. I can't remember. Nope, I do not have that handy. So basically, even though he left, left the company, and yeah, it's Yasumi Matsuno. Sorry about that. After he left the company, they decided to name this boss after him. And I don't know if that was me, and they named this boss after me. I'd kind of feel insulted.
Really hated him. Also, I guess he had a bunch of weird frisbees glued to his body, because I don't know where this thing's design came from.
I don't know either. Like, the Hellworm had them too, and like other dragons in this game have them as well, like as chains around their necks is supposed to be the idea. Like, they're supposed to like stop them from doing more damage or something, like supposed to chain them up or something like that, but I don't know. It doesn't make as much visual sense for Yasmat, so. We're getting there. Only 3 bars and a half left. This is the part where it gets really frustrating too. Like I just.
It's just starting to get frustrating.
Yeah, starting to at the hour and a half mark. At this point, it almost becomes worthless to keep Shell and protect them, because it takes so much time and so much MP to try and keep it up that it starts seeming like a lost cause trying to keep that up.
Yeah, it's hard to keep it up. We've all been there.
Hey, speak for yourself, man. Jesus Christ. Well, actually, in this fight, it's hard to keep my characters up because they're dying like every other hit. So it's basically get an attack or 2 in, and then they die at this point. And at this point, I think I even stopped having Van in Berserk mode because again, it takes too much time to get that in. At this point, I was starting to fall behind so badly that I just had to run back and revive everybody. So, and again, like I said earlier, he can start casting things like Bravery, Haste, and Protect Shell on himself. So you have to be careful to not go away for too long. But we're almost there, guys.
Yeah.
Almost there.
I think 8-Bit fell asleep again.
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh lord.
We go to do the actual stream and he just passes out. It's either that or he just loves the sound of my voice, don't you? Don't you? Oh yeah, you can't say anything to dispute it. You love my voice. My sultry sounds.
Somnolent tones.
So, it also wasn't very obvious in this part of the game, but he will, at about 5 bars left, cast Reflect on you. On your party. Now, why do you think that's a bad thing? It uses physical attacks that can utterly destroy you. You go to heal, and you cast Karaja on yourself, and it bounces off on him. There isn't a magical ability in this game called Renew, and it says, oh, it automatically will restore your HP to whatever the maximum is. And the first time I did a test run, Renew reflected off one of my characters, hit Yasmat, and restored over 40,000 some HP.
Oh
went from 5 bars left to max. And it was at that point I said, nope, I'm putting this game down for a couple months. Just frustrating. Just absolutely frustrating. And some of the equipment I got here was some of the rarer to find, like the Dueling Mask, the Brave Suit are not the easiest ones to find. Some of them required farming enemies in the Hen Mine or running around doing it, but they're not, they're mainly useful because they up either strength or defense or magic defense. and it's useful for this fight to have it on certain characters. But anyway. It is done.
Thank God.
See, it's at this point where I'm just like, okay, I have, you know, what are the chances of like my disc breaking on me or something? What are the chances I'm gonna die in an encounter on the way back or something like that?
Oh man.
I just get paranoid. Like, I actually recorded myself walking up to the crystal to save, but I was like, no, I don't need to do that. Let's just finish this and let's head back to Mont Blanc, who actually requested us fight this dude.
What a sadist.
8-bit, wake your ass up. God damn it. So there was this whole long story about how, like, their master was killed by Yayasmat or something like that, like Mont Blanc and his brothers and sisters' master or something. And so here's all of his brothers and sisters. 3 of the Mughals that run the teleport stuff around town. Hurdy, who runs like the Chocobo stables. Nono, who works on the straw, basically. Works on Balthazar's airship. And Mont Blanc, so.
What a dignified name. No.
Yeah, it's Hurdy, Gurdy, Sorbet, Nono, and one other one I can't remember, and then Mont Blanc.
Yeah, he kind of lucked out in that family.
Yeah, he got the goddamn, you know, regal name out of that family. Turns out, like, Mont Blanc is like his surname or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're all supposed to be Mont Blanc, but we've basically been like going Mr. Mont Blanc and Horn. Like, come on, what are these names? Awful, awful.
I guess we're the strongest now.
Yep, we are the most powerful force in the universe. I like the fact that, like, their master was killed by this thing that, you know, was at a location in a at a dungeon that you could only access due to the fact that we had an airship that, you know, could fly to areas with high mist. Like, it doesn't make logical sense.
Well, they have wings. They can fly.
Over in an ocean. Over an ocean.
Probably. Any birds do it.
But the Mughals, I mean, fine. So we are the greatest hunter Ivalice has ever seen, bar none.
Does this mean we no longer have to do any hunts?
Well, we have one more thing to show off, actually. This is an optional fight. I was talking about Final Fantasy V and how Yayasmat was kind of like Shinryu or whatever the name of the dragon was. Well, this is Omega Mark 12. Omega was one of the optional bosses in that game. It was like a mechanical spider monster in that as well. The strategy for this fight actually is basically attack. You have attack on, you have reverse on, and rise on. That's pretty much it. Your characters will cast reverse on themselves, and Omega's laser attack actually will just heal you, because that's how reverse works, is that things that would normally, you know, damage you will heal you. So you constantly cast reverse, constantly cast a rise, but Omega's only has 1 HP bar, so it doesn't take very long to destroy him. So
yeah, that's kind of anticlimactic after the other fight.
yeah, but I won't. Doesn't
Not
make much of a
complaining,
difference. Oh, I know, it's totally true though. It is anticlimactic to have this fight and then the other fight before it, but that's how I roll. I don't think anything will ever compare to the Yayasmat fight, because that's just insane. Like, it's absurd to have a fight like that. And I'm using Bash again. I don't know why. Just felt like it. And I really enjoy the fact that, you know, because of the way this floor is, you can actually see where the sword goes, where technically it should be in the ground right now by like 2 feet.
That's true.
Well, anyway, from Omega we also get a badge called the Omega Badge. Ugh. Pretty straightforward. That's what the drop there was, is just grabbing that. So we now have 3 badges. The Liu Shang badge, which we got from the from doing the fishing side quest, which sucked and was a horrible monstrosity. We got the Godslayer's badge from killing Yasmat, which also was a monstrosity. And then we also have the Omega badge, which isn't much of anything. You sell those 3 and you get the option to buy this Dragon Crest. Which is actually a sword. I don't know why they call it a crest.
Well, it's Final Fantasy. Names don't mean anything.
Yeah. So this is the Worm Hero Blade. It's a strong 2-handed sword with a very high evasion, and also has Holy as an element, so that makes it okay. It's probably not worth... I've never actually gotten the sword before, so like in the next couple videos I actually start using it, and I was kind of started realizing how awful a prize that actually is. It doesn't really... It's not that good.
Oh my god.
Because it's 2-handed, which is disappointing, but it's Holy Elemental, meaning that some enemies can resist it. It's also slow, so congratulations. I feel like I have won this game. Good night.
Wonderful.
Okay, Shinryu, you can pick me up tomorrow at 8, and nowhere cheap. Cool? Cool.